When you think of an abandoned train car, you probably picture rusted metal, broken seats, and years of dust. It's hard to imagine anyone calling such a place home, right? But what if I told you it doesn't have to stay that way? Today, I'm sharing an incredible true story of transformation that will change how you see second chances forever. If you enjoy stories of human resilience, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more inspiring content. The first night Henry spent in the abandoned train car, he thought he might freeze to death. The December wind howled through cracks in the rusted metal walls, carrying the bitter chill of a Minnesota winter. Curled up on the hard, grimy floor, he pulled his thin jacket tight, trying desperately to keep warm. Just 6 months earlier, Henry had been living a completely different life. He was a retired carpenter with a modest home and regular visits from his daughter Emma. But when his wife Margaret passed away after battling cancer, the medical bills consumed their savings. The grief consumed Henry. The foreclosure notice came on a Tuesday. By Friday, the 62-year-old found himself homeless for the first time in his life. After 3 days sleeping in his pickup truck, the engine gave out. That's when Henry discovered the abandoned rail yard on the outskirts of town. Hidden behind overgrown weeds and rusted fencing, it felt like a place the world had forgotten. And there, sitting on a neglected siding, was the train car that would change his life. Henry woke before dawn, stiff and aching, his breath visible in the freezing air. The train car was roughly 30 feet long and 8 feet wide. Rusted metal walls, broken windows, and a floor littered with decades of debris. But as the first rays of December sunlight crept through the cracked windows, Henry saw something others might have missed, a glimmer of possibility. Henry had spent 40 years as a carpenter, transforming raw materials into beautiful spaces. Maybe this forgotten train car could have a second chance, too. Henry's first priority was survival. Using his carpenter's knowledge, he explored the rail yard and surrounding area, finding a treasure trove of abandoned materials. Discarded lumber from shipping crates, metal beams from demolished structures, and even intact train seats from other cars. He started by sealing the largest cracks and gaps in the walls, using salvaged wood planks and metal sheets. Every gap sealed was a small victory against the cold. The work was exhausting, but each night Henry felt something he hadn't experienced in months: purpose. By January's end, Henry began the real transformation. He built a framework along the walls using salvaged lumber, creating structure for proper insulation. Between the frame and original walls, he stuffed every piece of insulation material he could find: old newspapers, discarded clothing, even foam from thrown-away cushions. The train seats became furniture. Henry carefully restored them, cleaning decades of grime and arranging them around a table he built from a wooden shipping crate. Henry's biggest challenge was heat. After weeks of searching, he found salvation at a demolition site, a small cast-iron wood-burning stove. Installing it required cutting a precise hole in the train car's roof and fashioning a chimney from salvaged pipe sections. When he lit the first fire on a frigid February evening, the warmth felt like a miracle. Spring brought new possibilities. Henry replaced broken windows with glass salvaged from abandoned buildings. When natural light began flooding the interior, the space was transformed. For electricity, Henry started small with a car battery and basic inverter. Solar panels came from a neighbor upgrading their system. The modest setup provided enough power for LED lights and charging his phone, making the train car feel like a real home. By summer, Henry had created a functional kitchen using salvaged materials. A countertop made from reclaimed wood, shelves for dishes, and a small sink connected to his rainwater collection system. He found an old camp stove at a garage sale and built a ventilation system for safe indoor use. With the interior complete, Henry transformed the exterior. He scraped off rust and painted the train car a cheerful shade of blue. He built wooden steps to the sliding door, created small garden areas with discarded planters, and installed solar-powered pathway lights. The transformation hadn't gone unnoticed. One warm July afternoon, Henry heard a soft knock at his door. A young woman named Sarah stood outside with her 8-year-old son, Danny. "My son has been fascinated by your train car," she said shyly. "Would it be okay if we looked around?" Danny's eyes widened with wonder as he explored the cozy interior, asking endless questions. Henry patiently explained how everything worked, and Sarah watched with growing admiration. Over the following months, Sarah and Danny became regular visitors, bringing fresh vegetables and supplies. In return, Henry taught Danny carpentry skills and life lessons about resilience and hope. Their friendship filled the void Henry hadn't realized was so deep since Margaret's death. As autumn arrived, Henry realized there was one more transformation he needed to make: his relationship with Emma. One evening, he sat at his handmade table and wrote a letter. He poured out his journey from losing everything to finding purpose, his gratitude for new friendships, and, most importantly, his regret about the distance with his daughter. He wrote about Margaret's death, his grief, losing the house, and ending up homeless. But he also wrote about hope, second chances, and the community that had helped him rebuild not just a home, but a life. The hardest part was admitting his mistakes, how pride had kept him from reaching out when he needed help. Henry mailed the letter the next morning, his heart heavy with both hope and fear. 3 weeks later, on a crisp October afternoon, Henry saw a familiar figure walking through the rail yard. His heart nearly stopped as he recognized Emma, her dark hair now streaked with gray, her eyes filled with tears. "Dad," she whispered, her voice trembling. Henry opened his arms and Emma rushed into his embrace. They held tightly, years of hurt melting away. "I'm so sorry," Emma said through tears. "I should have been there when you needed help." "No," Henry said softly. "I was the one who pushed you away. I forgot the most important thing I had left. You." Emma stepped back, looking at the transformed train car with amazement. The cheerful blue exterior, the welcoming garden, the warm light glowing from windows. "You did all this yourself?" she asked. Henry smiled. "I had help from friends and neighbors who believed in me, but yes, this is my home now." Emma squeezed his hand gently. "It's beautiful, Dad. I'm so proud of you." In that moment, Henry felt peace he thought he'd lost forever. He had transformed an abandoned train car into a home, rebuilt his life from nothing, and finally had his daughter back. As the sun set, casting golden light across the rail yard, Henry realized he'd found something far more valuable than just shelter. He'd found hope, forgiveness, and the courage to start over. Sometimes losing everything is the only way to discover what truly matters. Today, Henry's train car has become a landmark in the small Minnesota town. People visit regularly, bringing friendship and support. Emma has moved closer to be near her father. Sarah and Danny remain close friends, visiting every weekend. Henry's story reminds us that home isn't just about the building you live in. It's about the life you create, the relationships you build, and the hope you choose to carry, even in the darkest moments. His journey offers powerful lessons. Resourcefulness matters more than resources. Community support is essential, and it's never too late for a second chance. At 62, facing homelessness and family estrangement, Henry could have given up. Instead, he proved that with determination, creativity, and help from others, anyone can transform their circumstances. The abandoned train car became more than a home. It became proof that second chances are real, and hope can be found in the most unexpected places. If you found Henry's story inspiring, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more incredible stories of human resilience. Remember, no matter how dark things seem, there's always the possibility of a second chance waiting just around the corner.